Hello everybody, Lawrence Fleming here again. Well, I'm looking at my schedule tomorrow. Tomorrow's moving day. And I'm worried that I'm not going to have power to even record a video, let alone edit it and upload it. So I'm going to do half of it anyway here and then see what happens. I'm moving into a park that I've never been in before and it has no power. So I'm back at the church that I videoed a couple of videos ago. This is Wednesday night, so tomorrow's Thursday, moving day. So I'm recording this here. Tonight we have a Bible study. So you can still do things when you're camping. And I'm going to walk around for a bit. I'm looking at things are escalating in the Middle East. Now, the United States flew a couple of B-52s over the Israeli area and got fighter escorts from them to do that. Just a show of force. Are they going to use them? I wouldn't trust it. But if it helps, fine. Let's see, NWO, can I say that? I don't know. I don't want to say the words. They don't want rogue countries displaying their dominance. So they don't want countries that are going to come back and say, we're in charge. We're not going to comply with you. Whether that's Russia, whether that's China, Iran, any of the Middle East countries that think that they can get away with and do whatever they want to do. Especially the proxies. You can't do what the harlot does. So I'm expecting something to erupt soon. We're in September. This is a big month for things to go wrong. Make sure you're prepped up. Make sure you've got a plan for your family in case something happens. Do you have a meetup place? A lot of us have to work during the day. What if the cell signals go down because of some kind of a disaster? Everybody should know to meet at the house. But if your house is in an area where there's problems, you need a secondary area. There are people now starting to get back into radio work. We grew up watching Breaker. This is Big Jake heading down the pike, whatever they would say, the truckers and their radios. And there's ham radios. Probably would be a good idea if people had a ham radio. So that you could get in touch or relay a message anyway. Especially if you've got family overseas. They've got ham operators all around the world and they're more than happy to relay messages. You call the country or if somebody's in a different country, you can get a hold of a ham operator that can reach their ham operator, and then they can go find a landline if there's one available. Part of the problem now is that a lot of us don't have landlines. I'm filming on my landline, portable. So have a plan. Always carry something in your trunk for survival. Have some basic tools. That's a necessity anytime because you don't know what's going to happen with your car. Most of you, if you lift the hood, wouldn't know what to touch or what to look at, but find someone older that used to work on cars, like we might be able to fix it. The problem is a lot of these new cars are all computer controlled. And if something goes out, you may not be able to fix it on the spot. You may need a new module. Oh, and guess where all these modules are made? China. And maybe Taiwan. I saw a report that China is starting to move into some of these surrounding islands and claim them. They said that if they get a couple more islands added to their territory, I guess, they'd be in a jumping off point to attack Hawaii if they wanted to. I mean, that's why we had bases all over the Orient so we could launch attacks. When we launched our atomic bomb attacks, those planes back then couldn't go all the way from the United States or even some of the carriers. Now they're starting to show up here for the study, so I guess I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Maybe I'll pick up some more stuff to talk about in the study. I'll talk to you later. Alright everybody, I'm going to include a little bit of travel video with this because I'm at my new park. They have this old log cabin here. And this little plaque says, in memory of General William McIntosh. And let's see. December 1821. There's the home of the Chief William McIntosh. That's where they signed a treaty between the Cherokee and the Creek Indian nations. Some cool historic stuff. I've never been here, so I'm going to go inside real quick and see what it looks like. I don't know if I can actually go in the rooms, but we're going to look. I've never been here. Of course, Georgia's full of Civil War historic stuff. Okay, it's a reconstructed home. Everything looks to be built the way they would have really built it back then. This is a cool site. There's lots of area here for running around, so got kids, this would be a good place to bring them. Notice the type of construction. That all had to be done with an axe, at least in the original time. There's some big wood, big timber in here. Another room, another fireplace. Someone left a bottle, okay. Tourist. Let's go upstairs. Look at these. These are heavy-duty stairs. I guess the rest of this is pretty much just the same construction. Every room has to have a fireplace because they didn't have central heating. You can see that some of this is starting to open up where you can see through. Okay. I don't know about the windows. I don't know when this was actually built. Those look to be modern tracks, so those have been added in. It's open, isn't it? It's a pane missing. Okay, I'm going to go get my campsite set up, and then I got to do my lesson plan, my Bible study for you. Catch you in a bit. I did want to include one quick view of the river here. You've seen the rivers from my other videos. They take it through a small channel because there's a power plant down there that grabs some of the water. This is how big the river really is. Pretty good size. And you can hear the sound of it. I'll be able to hear that tonight. Doesn't God create beautiful places to camp? All right, I wanted to give you a picture of my campsite before and after. Enormous field next to me here. There's a guy out there mowing the lawn. That's a full-time job. And there's another campsite over there, but there's nobody here. The river's right down there, you can see it. So I'll throw a quick picture up when I get the tent up, and we'll be in place. We're here for 5 days. Okay, I am finally in my camp, set up and ready to do my Bible study. I had to run into town to get some ice. This is a completely, well, I won't say completely unsupported campsite, but there's no water and electricity at the campsite. I can walk 100 yards and get some water. There's a couple of porta-johns here at the end where I'm at, about 50 yards away. A trash can with a bag in it that they've maintained, so I don't have to go far for that. So overall, everything's here. I'm going to have to see if I can get enough solar power, because I am definitely in a shaded area. There's lots of sun out there. I may have to take my chair out and go sunbathe during the day and get the solar panel out there. We'll see how it works. All right, you can see behind me, just at the edge, there's the river. You should be able to hear it. So I thought today we'd talk about rivers. The Spirit of God is likened to a river. It flows. It flows from God, one direction, out to us, and we just have to be ready for it. Now we can dam it up, we can block it, so it can't get through to us. But we don't need to do that. There's no reason to do that. Now, our sinful nature sometimes does, so we have to constantly be on the guard for that. So some of these should be familiar. Let's turn to John 7:38. And this covers 2 pages. On the last day, I'll start back in 37. The great day of the feast, Jesus stood and cried out, "If anyone thirsts, let him come to me and drink. He who believes in me, as the scripture has said, out of his heart will flow rivers of living water." Now this was a preemptive statement, because it says here, but this he spoke concerning the Spirit, whom those believing in him would receive, for the Holy Spirit had not yet been given, because Jesus was not yet glorified. Jesus is speaking, so he's got to go to the Father, and then he can send the Spirit. Okay, let's look at Revelation 22:1. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding from the throne of the Lamb If you look at the river behind me, it's not the river of life, it's brown, because it's been raining a lot. In the middle of the street, and on the other side of the river, was the tree of life, which bore 12 fruits. So the river of life has 12 different fruits on it. Maybe one's an apple. I don't know. The leaves of the tree were for healing the nations. And there shall be no more curse, but the throne of God and the Lamb shall be in it, and his servant shall serve him. That, of course, 22 is the last book of the Bible. So it's doing a recap and telling us what we have to look forward to. Okay. We'll look at Amos 5:24. But let justice run down like water, and righteousness like a mighty stream. Can you imagine all that water coming down the stream there, full of righteousness? It's not the river of life, though, but we can still imagine. And the final couple of verses were going to be out of Psalms. So we got Psalms 1:3. You shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water that brings forth its fruit in the season, whose leaf shall not wither, and whatever he does shall prosper. Blessed is the man who walks in the counsel of the ungodly, that walks not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the path of sinners, nor sits on the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord. So that's the kind of person that puts a tree by the river and brings everything to bloom in season. And now we're going to look at Psalm 46:4. There is a river whose stream shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her. Just at the break of dawn, the nations raged and kingdoms moved. He uttered his voice, and the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Jesus is out there ready to come save us. And he's going to, put a hedge around us until he comes to get us. The world is not going to be able to destroy us before the first rapture. The second rapture, that's another story. And the third's another story. But the first rapture will save us from all the wrath, the seals, trumpets, bowls, everything. The second rapture will keep you away from the really bad wrath at the middle. And if you can make it all the way to the end, there's a rapture too there for the final battle. So you want to pick one of them. If I have my choice, I want the first one. And you should too. There should be no reason why, as a Christian, we don't go on the first one. So make sure that you are right with God, that you truly are a Christian, that you've given your life to Christ. Not that you go to church. That won't do it. Not that you do good works. That won't do it. You've got to make sure that you are a Christian. All right, until we meet in the clouds, God bless. I promised you a picture of the tent set up, and I hadn't done that, so this is what it looks like. And again, the river's right there. Okay. Have a blessed day.